I wanted to make a video. This is for Dark Pill. He has a question about Jesus being God in the Old Testament. So it's a good question. I know going from being a Jehovah's Witness to anything else is very difficult, because they really just teach you kind of, first of all, the false teaching of everything else, explain to you why it's wrong. They actually give you a bad argument, and then they tell you that it's wrong. And then what they do is they explain their argument by misquoting scriptures, or using one scripture out of context, or paraphrasing a scripture. So let's just take a step back for a moment. When you leave Jehovah's Witnesses, number one thing you should do is just try to understand that 99% of everything that you were taught was wrong, and start from there. Number two, never use their Bible. Their Bible takes things, there's a lot of scripture that are removed or altered. The last thing I want to say is the last part about that is that understand that the Bible rhymes. So what often happens in Bible writers is that they start with one verse, like in Genesis, and then later on in another, I don't know, Jeremiah or whatever, they will use the same phrase and they'll reference an old phrase back. And this is totally happens in the New Testament. So I'm going to give the answer, but I'm going to show you how to kind of look things up for yourself. So throughout the Old Testament, when they refer to God, oftentimes it will say, use a plural of God. For example, the first idea comes is in Genesis. It says, let us make man and God in our image. So who's the us? I mean, if God was one being, the idea is that I don't want to get. See, a lot of times exjws have the difficulty accepting the idea of a Trinity. So just slow that down for a moment, because that is a total mind adjust. Just understand that God uses plural terms often. Also that the Bible references itself in other parts. For example, in Acts 2, it talks about how you will be witnesses of me to the endless part of the earth. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses translate it and say witnesses of Jehovah. The New Testament never uses the word Jehovah, and it was actually they're referring to the Lord, which is Jesus. So, and actually they're quoting a scripture from Isaiah. And that scripture says specifically Jehovah. So that's how I think it's Isaiah 48 or something like that. I remember parts of where things are. I'm not always great with remembering where scriptures are, and I try to grasp ideas rather than focus on numbers. So anyways, the idea is that they're specifically saying the Lord. They're cross-referencing the witnesses of me being Jesus, and he's referencing the scripture in Isaiah of being Jehovah. So it's literally saying the same person. So that's just one reference of that. Oftentimes, there are cross references, like in a lot of Bibles will cross. In the JW Bible, they had that thing in the middle. That was a reference to them, to what scriptures they were referring to, which was really helpful. But other Bibles have that, and you don't necessarily have to. The problem with JW Bible is that there's no place in the Bible in the New Testament, where it uses the word Jehovah or the Tetragrammaton. So they've inserted it over 7,000 times. It's not. They claim it was taken out. It was never there. So all the times, it was inserted. So they have at least 7,000. They have at least 7,000 errors in their Bible. So I hope this helps. If you give me a specific Bible text, we can kind of go over it or something like that. But this is more, and I won't tell you to believe in the Trinity right away. And I say that because I know it even took me a while to really kind of grasp it, because it was completely foreign to me. And the first thing I would say when I knock on people's doors is, there's no word Trinity in the Bible. That's true, but there's no word like pioneer in the Bible either. So I hope that helps. I know I kind of gave you a lot of digestive information in a short period of time, but oftentimes you'll see references to God, to Jesus, and Jehovah, or the Father. I shouldn't say this. The Father and Jesus as being the same person. That's why there's there's this idea of the Trinity. And keep in mind, I would say that you don't. It's more the Bible specifically talks about having faith in Jesus to be saved. So you don't have to grasp everything at once, or even, I don't think there's any scriptures that says you have to believe in the Trinity to get saved. So, although it does help. So just give yourself credit, the fact you're asking questions, you're considering these things, and and just let's see. Yeah, that's about it. I don't want to give you too much information right now, but that's a good question, and keep the questions coming. I know I had to go through same process. Just had to. So I understand. Continue to pray, continue to read the Bible, and you'll find Jesus. Have a great day.